Hello, beautiful people. Welcome, welcome. I think I'm live, and let me just check. Just tune in to your bodies when you're arriving. Excuse me, today I've got a big head cold. Had it for about last 5 days. So excuse me for being all snotty. Excuse me a minute. So welcome. Just tune in to your bodies when you take a deep breath, when you arrive. Thank you for tuning in with me today on a Wednesday. I'm very blessed to be here with relatively good health. So I reframe my health now. Health, when I'm sick, I reframe it as a detox. So I just thought I'll just offer that to you whenever we're sick or getting through a cold or a flu or a bug or something, just remember that it's actually an opportunity for your body to detox. So to get all the stuff out, the toxins and negativity, and change, we use our body as a way to get things out, right? So today I'm going to be talking about the practice of the abundance of health, even when you have chronic pain or symptoms. So as most people know here, I'm a mind-body specialist, like a pain specialist with a PhD in neuroimmunology. And I have a very beautiful wisdom of pain healing process that I take my clients through to heal them back to heal themselves and break cycles of pain and symptoms and build a better life for them. So yeah, it's a beautiful practice, this abundance of health, how we have to really learn how to give health before we can actually have it. And so just bear with me a little bit with this. I'm a science, I have roots in science, but I was also brought up in a spiritual community. So I have both aspects, and I'm really trying, the more that I work in this topic of chronic pain and symptoms, mind-body issues, I'm building and bridging these fields more and more, especially with my passion about quantum physics and the realms of mind and body. So please keep an open mind for initially for the first half of where I'm going to be talking about the illusion of lack. The illusion of lack of health, wealth, love, connection, whatever that is, right? And how we can tune into the truth. What is the truth? The laws that we have show us that actually abundance is present at all times, and not a lack is an illusion. So when we say, I'm going to tie it in more with health, but this actually lack and abundance can be with regards to any aspect of your life. But it's quite nice to be able to just tie it in with the concept of health, so we can really understand how we can start. And I'll give you some practical steps to take, so you can actually start to practice abundance in your health, even when you don't have it, right? When you even don't feel like you've got good health at the moment. So seeing and recognizing the truth of abundance sets us free from the illusion of lack. So what I mean by that is that the abundance is the same word as infinite, right? So there's infinite amount, and this is science. This is not just a nice kind of saying. It's science. It's an infinite universe, multi-universe that we live in, and we see a very, very, very small part of that, right? And so seeing and recognizing the truth of abundance sets us free from the illusion of lack. And this really helps us to kind of start to shine the light on the illusion, and it fades. So shining the light on, with fact and science helps us to eradicate the disillusion of lack and bring into truth the actual or fact, the abundance, right? So it's just it's a shift of perception, and truth of abundance is inseparable from the truth of oneness. So you can't have separation, like separation and lack are both illusions, and they are the opposite of abundance. So we're either in a loving relationship with lack, or we're in a loving relationship with abundance at any one moment, at any one time, right? So, and time is space. So when I say that. And this is a beautiful thing to start to uncover that we, most of the time, our upbringing is based in lack, and our experiences and programming is based in lack. And so when we start to come into a more connected oneness, the truth of oneness, that we are all divine beings having a human experience, that are ultimately we are all connected through the quantum field, then we can start to actually really consolidate our thoughts and feelings and our beliefs about lack or abundance, right? And I'm going to get into the practical in a little bit, so just bear with me on this. The universe shows us the ways we're acting out the beliefs of lack, whether we're willing to listen or not. It's always happening. The universe shows us where we are acting out our beliefs of lack, and so it's a feedback mechanism, right, that allows us to actually see when we're out of relationship with abundance and in relationship to lack. So a sick person, basically, or a person who has chronic pain, and believe me, I had my fair share of chronic pain in my life, and I've overcome all chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and I had about 18 different symptoms of chronic pain and dis-ease in my body. So believe me when I tell you, I know what you're going through, regardless of the symptom. Sickness is showing us the lack of belief in health. I'm going to say that again. Sickness, the sickness that we have, our condition right now, our disease in our body, is showing us the lack of belief in health that we have. So it's a feedback system. It's a mechanism to tell us. So the universal truth is abundance, but we actually are kind of tuned into or perceive or experience lack more than we do health, and that has actually over time created this health in health in our, or dis-ease in our body. So science agrees that the universe is infinite and therefore abundant. These words are synonyms, and the more we understand and actually remember, because it's actually it's a loss of information that we have been conditioned into over our lives and centuries, because it was a well-known fact many centuries ago. So once we remember and know that this is true, then we can start to fade or disattach ourselves from the experience of lack. Lack doesn't exist. It's like, it's the black and the white, it's the up and the down, it's the up, the dipolarity of the illusion state that we live in. When we live in a universe of things. We have things everywhere, matter, form, objects, and things, right? They're the same. And also the quantum wave, and the quantum wave, but which is the energy part, or the space, and also the particle, right? So the form, objects and things. So when we start to say, well, where is the lack if we experience that we're experiencing? We can't say that, you can't demonstrate, you can't point or tell me there is a no thing there, because there's no thing, right? There's always something there. So it's actually an illusion. Lack is illusion. We can't say that the universe is not infinite and not abundant. It's just our perception of that lack, and our programming that's given us the perception of lack. So we can start to kind of just turn it around. We can't quantify lack. We can't, measure it or see it in any way. We just perceive it. And the opposite, or the polarity of lack, is the abundance, and everything, like there's no darkness, it's just a lack of light, right? So we have to start to realize that we are trained to perceive lack, and lack of health, lack of wealth, lack of love, whatever area in your life that it concerns you with right now. So when we live in a universe of things in abundance, everything is potential, the potential arising, and the symbols of abundance. So we have, blossoming flowers now in Crete in May. It's, everything's blooming. We have the infinite numbers of grains of sand on the beaches, stones and bugs. We can see abundance everywhere, but most of the time we focus on the lack. So that means we're not in a loving relationship with abundance. We're in loving relationship with perception of lack, okay, or the separation. So relationship, oneness is also about relationship with, in relationship. So we have to perceive everything as, in relationship with. That's why I say that we are perceiving, we're having a loving relationship with lack, or we're having a loving relationship with abundance, right? And it's all a perception. So what we can start to kind of really unpick that and really start to, this is interesting. What at this moment in time with my health, have I got a loving relationship with my health, or am I in an unloving relationship with health in the form of, lack of health, right? And that doesn't mean that we're always we always have everything that we want all the time right now in this moment. It's like, it's a building a process, and we have to obviously, it takes some practice, right? So that what's our intention and the engagement that we choose to have a relationship with, that makes manifest in our life. So we have to really be aware that where our attention is going, and what that engagement or the relationship with that thing, either lack, or the illusion of lack, or the illusion, or the abundance, right? So I said a sick person is just someone who has lost the loving relationship with health, with their health, right? And so therefore is in bad health. Just as a poor person, and this may be triggering for you, I understand that, and it's very important that, you just stay with me, because a poor person, or a person who has lack of money, is someone who chooses consciously or unconsciously, right? I'm not saying it's their fault or anybody's fault here. Ultimately, we take responsibility for our physical, mental, emotional habits that we have had over these years, and so that creates our reality. But so a poor person is just someone who chooses not to have an intimate, loving relationship with money, or I prefer the word exchange of energy, because that's all that money is for me. So it's not bad or good, right? It's just an exchange of money. So an exchange of energy, sorry. So, you know, when we can start to look in the laws behind the you know, the laws that actually work behind this, this abundance, like, it's really, really interesting. So laws of giving and receiving in the quantum field, or life or creator, is not, so life, creator, and God, or whatever word you want to use for the universe, I prefer the universe, is not a giver and you the receiver. We are all givers and receivers. And what's really interesting is what now I'm starting to tie it in with how we can actually do what we can actually do to practice abundance in our lives, right? So I'm moving into the next phase. Only what I do not give can be lacking. Only what I do not give can be lacking. So when we start to think like that, so what am I not giving, right? And if I don't feel like I've got it, right, then why am I feeling like I haven't got it? Like, so it's like a kind of, you know, what do you call it? This cognitive problem, I can't give you, we assume that we can't give something that we don't have, but that's actually the lacking of it, right? So only what I do not give can be lacking, because giving is the actual proof of having. So this is a quantum law. This is the universal law. And when we start to bring it into relationship with health, I'll tell you exactly what I mean by this, right? So just bear with me. So we're not in loving relationship with something that we cannot give. So that's a really important thing, that the communication with the divine, or with life, we give to the divine that which we want to experience more of, and through love and gratitude for having it, through the experience of more health, more wealth, right? So that's the universe based saying, that's telling the universe, hey, over here, I want some more of that. I want more wealth. I want more health. I want more love, right? By giving out thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, excitement, gratitude as a gift to the universe, through your thoughts, through your mindset, through your desires, through your actions, right? We're giving to the universe health, wealth, love. And this is really, it's kind of like, what's the word when it's the upside down of what you think? So, I mean, I love this topic, right? It's just an amazing experience when you can start to transfer this and transform this into your mind. So if we're in a world of oneness, the multiverse, right? The whole is unable to see itself with, we're a godical, or a particle of God, with having a singular point of view or experience of the whole. So in fact, we are helping God experience, or the creator, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, the oneness, to see and fully experience itself. So giving thoughts of wealth or health, right? Giving thoughts of and emotions of health and wealth and love, and actions, which is the attitude towards having thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions towards something, is your attitude towards that thing. You receive the thing or the matter, the object, or whatever it is that you want, that resonates with that the most. It's a basic law of resonance, or the law of attraction, right? And this is this is the law. This is the kind of like the giving receiving part, right? The universe gives us the material things that we, or the wealth or the health or whatever it is that we, the loving, the relationship, the loving relationship, right? But and we show this when when we're in a loving relationship with that thing that we want. So we can show, with abundant relationship with that thing that we want. Okay. If we don't care about it, then we're not in a loving relationship with it. If we don't care about money, then we're not in a loving relationship with it, and that's fine. If if that's what you want. And the same goes with health, right? The universe doesn't force us. It's a we have a freedom of choice. We the law of will. It will give us. We demonstrate with our actions through what we want to have a loving relationship with, right? I hope this is landing for people. Let me know in the comments if this is landing. I'm hoping this is making sense. So we are in an infinite dance to the universe of giving and receiving. We can give thoughts, emotions, and actions of health, abundance of health, because we're showing that we're in a loving relationship with it. And this is and also just when we're having a lack, for example, when we're having a temporary illness like me or something, I don't forget that I'm a healthy being, right? I don't lose that relationship with it just because I'm feeling a bit sick, temporarily sick for this time. So just because you're out of relationship for a while with that thing doesn't mean that it's not the present. It's just that you've lost a relationship with it, right? So it's a really empowering stance, because then you can start asking the question like, okay, so if I'm not in loving relationship with health, what can I do, say, think, be, and that's what I'm going to get to, that I can actually show and create and demonstrate that I'm in a loving relationship with health. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get to right now, is how can we actually give health before we actually have it? Counterintuitive, that's the one I was. So it's counterintuitive, right, to think that way. It's like, well, if I don't have it, how can I give it? And if I did have it, why would I want it? And blah, 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 right? But we have to remember that we are not just I lost my train of thought. We are not just a physical body. We're a physical, mental, and emotional. We're also the physical, the body, the mind, and the spirit, right? All the gross, subtle, and causal in the ascension spiral. We're multidimensional beings. So we need to learn to have a relationship with good health at all three levels, not just the body level. So this is an interesting part. So when I say giving health, we can have we have to think about all those three different levels of health, right? We can't just sit around expecting health to come to us. We have to start experiencing health thoughts, health emotions, health practices that actually are going to create creating the loving relationship that we have with health. It's a feedback system, right? And we're letting the body know. So on the on the level of body, type in the chat, what you know, what parts, what ways could you give health to your body? So just type in the chat a couple of things, whatever comes up for you. And we have to remember that we need to give at all three levels, mind, body, and spirit, to create ultimate and abundance of health, right? So at what level, what could we be giving at the level of the body? Just give me some in the chat. Yeah, so healthy eating is obviously the first one that comes to mind, right? Being in a loving relationship with your body for health, with regards to eating, what you put into your body. Sleeping well is another one. You know, you show optimal and love for your body through optimal sleep. Movement medicine, or keeping the body exercised and vital, drinking lots of good quality water, minerals, nutrients, probiotics, and all these things. Walking in nature, doing things that you love. So you're showing your giving in actions through your physical body, giving and having a loving relationship with your body, feeding it, and through actions of self-love, giving health, right? We often have and I'm hoping that most people here don't, but we don't know, our body is working 24/7 round the clock servant for the balance and harmony and homeostasis of the body. And most of the time we just give, we assume that it's just giving us sources of pleasure. So it's just like a pleasure device, right? And this creates a very unloving and abusive relationship with our body. In fact, it's actually a form of disconnection or dissociation to avoid pain, suffering, and even the connection with self and others, right? So we want to avoid it because it's been so painful over our lives. And so the healing from chronic pain and chronic symptoms and illnesses can be our greatest teacher. It can be our greatest catalyst to bringing this connection, this beautiful relationship back to a loving relationship back to health and yourself, right? So one way at the body level of how we can give health to ourselves and the universe, right, is by obviously doing these healthy habits. The physical aspects of my program is all about this, creating habits that heal, so that we can actually give health back to our body. Giving being the word, because the more we give, we feel that we have, and then we receive in response, right? So put in the chat what you think. How are some ways of giving health at the level of the mind? So while you just do that, I'm just going to blow my nose. Sorry about that. I just got there we go. My camera failed to read. So yeah, giving your health to yourself before you have it at the level of the mind can be through actions of meditation, for example, right? Meditating to lower the incoherence of the brain and the body. Loving awareness of thoughts is another way, creating compassion for ourselves and our thoughts, and also starting to track them is another way of giving health at the level of the mind, right? Emotional awareness or emotional IQ, learning tools to soothe your nervous system and your emotions are a great way to give health back to the mind, and with actions, resting or stillness of the mind. So resting the mind and bringing stillness to it, again, through meditation, through walking in nature, through connection, with self and others, affirmations, inspiring videos, and reading. A great one and a vital one that I share with my clients and has been the pivotal point of my healing journey as well, was the mental rehearsal for your own health. Excuse me. So envisioning, not so much visualization. I don't like that word because it just creates the concept of a picture. But when what we're doing is mental rehearsing, is actually going into the depths, using all the senses as if it's already taking place. And the physiological body doesn't actually know the difference between mental rehearsal, and this is science has been shown, the mental rehearsal versus real life. So this is a beautiful way of giving health to the mind before you have it, right? So having healthy thoughts and thoughts of abundance, elevating your emotions, being out of mind chatter or in, low cognition, fear, fight, flight, freeze response, being aware of that, and because we're either in survival or thrive mode, right? So either or. So starting to have all awareness and bringing in just all the practical tools and tips that I share on my YouTube channel. So go, if you want to know more information about that, please go and see my channel on YouTube. And so those are just some levels of giving health at the level of the mind. And now think a little bit, how would you give health at the level of the spirit? So this might be a little bit more tricky. So we did the body level. We are, multi-dimensional beings of spirit, of mind, body, and spirit, right? So at the spirit level, how could you give this concept of health? So being in a loving relationship with health before you actually feel healthy, which is the kind of counterintuitive part, right? But we need to, this is, really, really vital. So just put in the chat anything that comes into your mind. Self-acceptance, right? So that's one that we can start to bring in the concept of health into the mind. Into the spirit is bringing in a practice of acceptance, compassion and acceptance, for example, embracing shadow parts or parts of ourselves that we've been pushed down into the basement for many, many years. Compassion, feeling oneness for love and all. These are ways that we can build our spirit health, because spirit is oneness, right? Connection, certain breath work in general, and certain yogas, authentic living in general, being in your authentic self more and more, and even what unpacking that. What does that actually mean to be me, my unique experience, my unique standpoint, my unique perception, right? Serving others to give health or love or, you know, connection is another, because again, service to others is one of the biggest parts of the oneness concept. Since we are all one, so we're all combined, and which means that we can realize that by this illusion of separation and lack is no longer there. We're all connected in spirit. Prayer is one form as well, intentions, affirmations, connecting to the higher mind or self through practices, meditation, or whatever, that walking in nature, or any way that you find that creates a connection. Another one that I really find very helpful is treating and seeing the life lessons, i.e. triggers, sick body, you know, conditions that are going on in your life and your environment right now, as a catalyst for growth, evolution. And this is why in my program, it's combining mind, body, and spirit healing. So it's a combination of all these things. And, you know, having this life circumstances that are showing me where I'm choosing not to be in relationship with health at all three levels, right? Is a very nice stance to have. So, you know, it can remind you that it's a very, very important reframe or mindset to start to shift into, right? So where are in the spirit level or a thought level or a physical level, where am I not showing a loving relationship with health? And this helps us transcend, you know, addictions. It helps us transcend patterns of shaming, emotional shaming, or negative thoughts, right? So we're literally, it's like we're asking the world, the universe, to point to us now to the where areas in our lives that we're no longer, where we're not in loving relationship with health, right? So we also have to remember that the spirit body, you know, the spirit doesn't have a body. And the mind doesn't have a body. I mean, we have the body, we only have one body, right? So we have to remember that if we're sick, it's maybe from the physical, but it may be also from the thoughts, and it may be from the spirit, right? The mind, body, and spirit. So because it's a feedback system, right? So this gives us a great, you know, sometimes sometimes sickness, as I said in the very beginning, is actually a detox from something, you know, on the spiritual realm or the mind realm, that, you know, negative thoughts or unconditional program that are actually releasing and purging, clearing and cleansing from your physical body, through your physical body, I should say. Karma, you know, concepts of negative patterns of behavior that have been passed on through lineages, that are no longer serving us, you know, they can be cleansed and cleared through the body, right? So everything goes through the body. So just remember, when you're physically sick, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, you just have to remember all three levels, right? I'm getting blocked up again. But the key here is to seeing that all of this is an opportunity to heal at all three levels, and the mind, body, and spirit, and therefore be in union with the oneness of life and receive more health and abundance in your life. So giving is a proof of having. You know, practicing abundance, giving the thing that you want, is, you know, a beautiful concept, and it's kind of like paying it forward, you know, this concept of paying it forward. And I just wanted to really bring it here today, because it's just a beautiful piece of the healing journey, and transcending our the physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual blocks through a cleansing, releasing, clearing, healing process by giving our body the health before we actually have it. So I hope that's been helpful. Let me know in the chat if you have any comments or more interest here. Let me know if you want more help with this. Let me know if there's anything that I can specifically help you on. So I had a client who recently, she's recently going to give me a testimonial because she had made such great progress in her healing journey. She had arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and she realized that the practices that she was doing in her life was absolutely not loving to her body, absolutely not connection and loving relationship with health whatsoever. And it took her to get to the level of, of having rheumatoid arthritis, swollen knees, and pain to a certain level, that it was the wake-up call and the catalyst, and she was able to alchemize this experience and to really come through the other side. And through the process of creating beautiful acts of love through physical actions, like the food that she was now eating, we were bringing in, doing a whole upgrade on her health, and she was, really willing to incorporate difficult usual foods for her, for example, just probiotics, or a sauerkraut, or some kind of form of pickled vegetables, or pickled which is a very good source of probiotics, for example. She's found it very difficult initially, and then her body, like, as more and more she got into these health habits or holistic healing habits, then she started to realize that all of this is an act of love to herself, and in loving the communion or relationship with life and abundance, right? And then we went to the mind level, and we started to look into the patterns of thoughts that have been not helpful for her. And she, started to unpack them and become aware of them first of all, and then she was able to change them. And she just came through this shining. It was not an easy process. It isn't the most easy process, but we are so more powerful than we ever can imagine, especially when we've got the mind, body, and spirit, working in all forms, in all areas, right? And then on the emotional level as well, was, we had soothing tools. She was now able to actually, create a sense of authority, or I am in her body, because this was the breakdown actually when in autoimmune immunity, this is Gorbet Mate's field as well, of trauma, that the breakdown of the immune system is in childhood, because they were not allowed to express certain anger or certain emotions, because it was coded as wrong or bad, and this kind of inacceptance and anger turned inward to the physical body and created the autoimmunity to attack itself, because it was not able to go outwards, right? So this is all very very, very interesting. And she started to really see that all of these patterns have actually been very unhelpful and unloving to herself, and unloving to, and not in connection with health, right? So anyway, the point is that she went through the process and she got out, and she's happy and healthy and in a loving relationship with herself and her health from now on. And she's grateful for the experience, because she realized that her body was screaming and crying. And this is why my process, the healing process that I take my clients through, is called the wisdom of pain, because it really gets them to the point where they can start to realize, wow, that was the catalyst and my greatest teacher, because we can start to heal. The motivation is there to heal, right? Because healing or change in itself can be quite a what's the word, frustrating for most people, because it's like, oh God, now I've got to just, is it possible even to change, right? So this is why holistic habits that heal, I have a beautiful system that helps people to really go through this process without a lot of resistance in their body. It's a system that I can give you. I offer it to all my clients and anybody who wants it today. It's a system of change that prevents fall off and discomfort in the system, in your body, as you go through the change. And it's very simple. It's so we have to take responsibility for our experience right now, that we are a product of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual habits, whether we like it or not. But here lies our power, right? So don't forget, it's the beginning of the month, which means, so the system is very simple. We can build new habits. You write a list of habits that you want in and you want out. And DM me if you want some more details on this. But you just basically choose which habit that you're going to bring in every month from this list of spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional habits, so that you can start to build your, habit or your action that is giving of health to your body, physically, mentally, on physical, mental, and spiritual realms. Okay. So this is an upgrading of an optimizing of your health and well-being, that helps to overcome chronic pains, conditions, by building these mini power habits that heal mind, body, and spirit. So if you're interested, please DM me and I can send you the system, really, really simple system in detail. And if you want more information in general, jump on an empowerment call with me. I have the details in the below. And yeah, let's heal ourselves, guys. This is a revolution in science, a revolution in medicine. There's the inside out revolution that's going on right now. And I think I'm going to have to love you and leave you so that I can blow my nose again and end this live slightly earlier. So just remember to give at all levels, the mind, body, and spiritual level, and creating that loving relationship with health before you even have it will create a massive shift in your physical symptoms. And believe me, I know when I say chronic pain, I had it for the majority of my adult life, and it is possible for you. And you can see the testimonials of my clients that I was talking about. And I'm here to help. So with lots of love, and see you next live. And just tune into my YouTube channel, because I have daily videos, or mostly daily videos, depending on, I have a 6-year-old daughter, so sometimes it's just not possible when she's running around, especially at the weekends. So if it's possible, I do a video daily, and tune in, and I'll love to see you there. So with lots of love, I'll see you next time. Bye.